Really? At one time. I said, you guys have to get involved. Because they were letting these non-Jewish, non-religious people push them around as far as the party room and stuff like that. And I said, all you have to do is just take control, take over. Yeah. Okay. So we share. Wayne, everything all set for Yom Kippur in the Holy Land?
All ready to go. I'm on my way to Mincha actually while I listen.
Oh wow. Okay, that's a privilege. Okay. Is it quiet in Yerushalayim?
Yeah, very quiet. And people are, I don't know, it just seems like a normal holiday here, but everybody is tense, I think.
Okay. Everything should be quiet. Quiet is good. All right, let's look at the next tshuva. Just to review, yesterday we saw a tshuva where um, the, uh, the discussion was about posting bills on private or public property. And certainly Rav Sharaga came down very hard on anyone who posts bills on private property because you're causing real damage. The only thing that he made an allowance for is if there's already a bill, a poster that's already up, and it's already the topic of the poster has expired, you would be permitted to put something on top of that, right? So that you're not actually coming in direct contact with the wall. Okay. Let's look at another shaila. Hezik rechev chaveru v'achar kach harechev nignav. This is what we would call a shlamazel. Okay. The guy's car got damaged by somebody else, and then it got stolen. So what's the liability of the guy who caused the damage to the car? So chaveri natan makala rechev shli. My friend crashed into my car. He caused damage. Okay, it was backing up, didn't see me, backs up into my fender or whatever. Shahayachone b'chaniya uchetotzaa mikach shavar et hamar'eh. He was in the midst of parking and he pulled in, and as he was pulling in, he broke my rear view mirror, okay, or side view mirror, right? Which is a very common occurrence, right? People think, I got room, I got room, I got room, bam, okay? Ula'achar chatzi sha'ah, but a half an hour later, belishum kesher l'nizcha, without any connection whatsoever to his damage, nignava mechunati, my car got stolen. Okay, this guy's really a shlamazel. He's got bad luck. This is just not his day. Chaveri toein shehu patur milashalem, kaven degam imhu lo haya shover et hamar'eh, harechav haya nignav im hamar'eh. My friend's claim is as follows: why should I be liable to pay? Because even if I had never smashed your mirror, you'd be without a car and without a mirror. Okay. So, in what way have I caused you financial loss? Your car got stolen. It's a good argument, no? Is he liable to pay for the broken mirror or not? What say you?
You gotta get the car back, sure.
Well, let's say he doesn't get his car back. He goes into a chop shop and that's it.
Well, the question would be, right, yes, is the car insured? If the car was insured, then I would say no, he doesn't have to deal with the guy who smashed the mirror. Shouldn't pay. The guy didn't pay whatever the insurance is gonna pay. If it's not insured, that's a different story.
Why would it be a different story?
Well, because there was some damage. Did cause some damage.
Yeah, but I never saw the damage. I never even experienced a damaged car because a half an hour later the car got stolen.
So I would say he doesn't pay because the owner of the car did not lose. There's no loss to him.
Right. So that's the thing. Do you look at the net loss
the net loss
of the
fact that you need to pay for the fact that you did some damage.
But the loss, the guys, you look at the loss of the person.
Marv, anything in secular law off the top of your head?
I'm mystified. I don't. There's a time I think I don't have an answer. Humble. Don't know.
Okay,
If
But-
they find the car, for sure he has to pay, right?
Yeah.
For the damage.
Yeah.
Right.
No,
But if they don't find it, that's a good question. What happens? It's just gone, right?
Well-
It didn't cause that.
yeah.
Yeah, he's no worse off, so. Yeah. Don't-
Okay, let's take a look. Well, at least we'll get started. And by the way, I see no reason not to have Shir next week. It's we're the week leading up to Sukkot. Once, so we'll have class Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Monday's a holiday. Oh, Thanksgiving. So Tuesday, Wednesday, we'll have two more shiurim. Yeah, that's right. Okay.
And then what about the following, so we skip the following week?
And then we'll be off for Sukkot. And we'll be off the week after Sukkot. So we'll be off for 2 weeks because I'm traveling. I'm taking off a week. If that's okay with you guys. Okay. All right. Reshit. So first of all, Yesh lachkor mahu chiyuv hamazik l'shalim. Let's think about what is the liability of the mazik. Ha'imhu mishum learners, why is a mazik and a damager? Why is he liable in halacha? Right? In other words, Hal puts forth his belief that it's based on the loss to the person who owns the property. But could there be another way of looking at it? So ha'imhu mishum shehizik v'chiser et etzem ha'chefetz shel chavero? Is it because he caused damage to an object that belongs to his friend? O shehu mishum shehifsid et chavero shivui mamon, or that he caused financial loss to his friend? In other words, how do you look at the liability of an injurer, a damager? Is it because he smashed something or because he caused out-of-pocket loss? Okay. Ulefi hatzad hasheni. So if you look at the second possibility that it's causing financial loss, yesh lomar dahamazik chayav rak im besofo shel davar hayalanizik chisaron mamoni. You could say that the damager is only liable if there's financial loss as a result of my damage. Da'az mechuyav hamazik l'shalim. Only then does the damager have to pay.
That's the secular law, where you've actually caused loss and you have to compensate for the diminution in value. Let's say, you break the mirror or something and that car's worth less. To the
Yeah.
extent that it's worth less, that's what you have to pay.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Avalim lo garam lo befol hefsid efsher she'eno chayav l'shalem. But what if I smashed your item, but ended up not causing you financial loss because of whatever reason, either because the item loses its value on the market, or it gets stolen, or any other reason, then I wouldn't be liable to pay according to that second possibility. V'im nomar ke'atzad hasheni. So if we're going to look at that second possibility, which is what Hal put forth, lichora hayamakom lomar debinidon didan kevin shebesofo shel davar hamazik lo garam hefsid mamoni lenizik. He says we could argue that since at the end of the day the damager did not cause financial loss to the damagee, kevin shebil adav gam hayanifsa, because without his smashing the mirror, he would have also been out of a car. Eino chayav. He should not be liable. Now, he's all up until now, all he's done is to provide a logical two-sided argument. So we're going to have to unpack this a little bit further in the footnotes, but this is sufficient for now. Some people want to bring proof from a Mishnah in Bava Metzia, which says, Hasocher para, v'hishilo la'acher v'ne'ensa eitzel hashoah. If a person rents a cow, a renter is liable for what? A renter is liable for negligence, but he's not liable for theft or loss because he's paying for it. So he's liable for negligence, but not liable for theft or loss. Okay, but then instead of using the cow himself, he lends the cow to a borrower for free. What is a borrower's liability? It's higher than a renter. The liability of a borrower is that he's chayiv even for onus. I'm sorry, let me just retract. A renter is liable for theft or loss, but he's patur from onus. He's patur from accidents. If a borrower, however, is liable for onus, is liable for even accidents. And then, so let's say the cow has some kind of mishap where there was no negligence on the part of the borrower, but the cow slipped, died, and for no reason at all. Chayev hashoel l'shalem l'socher. So in that case, the shoel is liable to pay, but the socher is not liable to pay. So who does the shoel pay the money to? Does he pay the money to the renter, or does he pay the money to the owner of the cow? V'harei sham lo nigram l'socher shum hefsed mamoni. Now, in that case, the renter has not incurred any financial loss because it's not his cow. Ki hapara eina shalo, umikol makom chayav hashoel l'shalem lasocher. But nonetheless, the borrower has to pay to whom? He's got to pay to the renter. So the renter actually benefits from this whole transaction because he rented a cow. So while it's under his rentership, he gets permission, I guess, to lend it out. He lends it out. Cow dies through onus. He owes nothing to the owner, and he gets to make $1,000 for the loss of the cow. Okay? Umashma shezehu mishum shehu chiser mama mimenu et hapara va'al ken chayav. And why is that? Because the borrower, having nothing to do with the financial loss or not of the renter, has caused him the loss of a cow. He broke the cow. But so therefore, it seems like it's the first, not the second argument. The first argument is, regardless of what the net financial loss is, if you smash something, you break something for which you're liable, you have to pay for it. So in the case of the cow, I'm the borrower. I have to pay for the death of the cow, but even though there's no net financial loss to the renter, okay? So that would indicate that's got nothing to do with the net loss of the party, of the offended party, right? It's got to do with what I did objectively. Omnam nira delo dami klal. However, Rav Sharaga says it's not a good analogy. The shiny shoel hol v'chol hana shelo mitchayev l'shalem l'socher midin achrayuto. He says because a borrower has to pay for all mishaps, since he's getting only benefit and is not paying for it. And so therefore his level of liability is always at the highest level. Whereas a damager does not have the same level of liability. And because his level of liability is not as great as a borrower, you might be able to argue that he should only have to pay for the financial loss he causes, not for the actual intrinsic thing that he breaks.
Now, it would be important too, but the clause that the owner has with the renter.
Of course, clauses are always important, right? But let's say
something there.
Well, there's no clause when I smash your mirror. There's no clause. There's no contract between you and me. It all resorts to what is the halacha? What's the level of liability? So if I smash your mirror, I've caused you damage, and we have to look at what the halacha is. There is no clause. Okay. So uvishut makor chayim. So we only have about a minute left. So I don't know if we're going to be able to accomplish very much because it's 6:30 this morning, if I'm not mistaken. Uvishut makor chayim dan be'echad sheshavar bakbuke yayin sarath bechanut shel chaveiro. He says he deliberates over the following case. Okay, Sagalovitz. So it's from Europe, okay? I think. Dan be'echad sheshover bakbuke yain saraf b'chanut shel chaveiro. He deliberates over the following shaila. A guy breaks bottles of liquor in his friend's liquor store. B'mekomot shahashiltanot osurim lahachzik yenot ka'elu. Right? The only problem is it's bootleg. In other words, these bottles of whiskey are prohibited by the government to sell. A guy walks into the guy's store, goes into the back room where they sell these bottles. Let's say it's during Prohibition, when you Canadians were making lots of money. Okay, and he goes into the back store, and he accidentally bumps into a whole shelf of liquor bottles, and they all break, and it's worth a couple $1,000s. So the guy wants to claim, I don't have to pay you. This is illegal stuff. You're not allowed to sell this. Okay. So because if the government were to find out that you have these bottles, they would confiscate the bottles and impose a steep fine. So why should I have to pay? So let's think about that case. Let's think about our original case, and we'll hold it here.